How y'all doing? Y'all are now tuned in into the third episode of Black Owl Podcast. I have the honor to have Miss Monet Kenny here. And we got a lot of things to touch bases on, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, yeah, so like you said, my name is Monet, and we just got some questions that we want to dive into. So,
Okay.
you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it like Nike.
All right, so now we all know how AI is basically taking over the world right now.
Right.
So, my first question to you is, with AI becoming so impactful, do you think that we are walking into AI replacing us agents?
And you speaking about artificial intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's crazy because I just had this same conversation with somebody when I was renewing my license. I don't think a robot can do what a realtor can do because it's more to what we can do.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is we have to be a therapist. You know, we have to give clients reinsurance and things of that nature. And I think
relationships.
Relationships, exactly. I think with a robot, everything is automatic. So it's kind of like hard to conduct something as serious as purchasing a house,
Yeah.
right? With a robot, you know, the robot is not hearing you when you're stressed out, right? The robot is not hearing you when you have tons of questions, you know, things of that nature. So it's a lot of people in the scarcity right now talking about robots is gonna take this job, this job, this job. I don't think for a realtor, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither.
Yes,
I don't
Lord.
think so. I do think that it's a lot that comes with being a realtor and what we provide as humans
Right.
versus what a robot could do.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so-
See, people, they just see the closings and they see the pictures with the key and things of that nature, but they don't understand what goes into being a realtor. And a robot can't do what we do.
The blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, Lord. You know, the
real
stress.
tears.
The stress.
stressing.
And I tell all my clients that I say, put the stress on me. The robot not going to say that. The robot is going to give you some automated message and have the client scared the whole transaction. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
For sure.
Yes, Lord.
All right, so, what are some challenges that you think you face with clients, and name the toughest ones?
One of my major challenges that I face with clients is like being understanding with them, you know. We got to understand that they're living a life, you know. So we as realtors, you know, we're ready to service them. We're ready to get to the closing table. We're ready to move in that direction as far as like putting up earnest money to get under contract and things of that nature. But some clients, they're not ready, you know. They just want to see the house. They want to soak it in, go talk to a family member or something like that. So it's like being on their timing.
Yeah.
That's one of the challenges that I gotta master, you know, with a client, you know. Because if I see a beautiful house and I'm letting the client know that this is a beautiful house, I don't understand why we're waiting. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just want that reassurance or that time to think about it. And that's one of the challenges I have.
Coming in, making just those nitpicks
Right.
on little small things.
Right.
The closet not big enough.
Yeah, just being understanding.
It's not a ceiling fan. I mean, that makes sense, but
Right. And sometimes you gotta tell the client like, hey, this price point that's here is what you can afford. You know, so sometimes the client don't want to hear that. You know, they still want that $1 million taste for their specific budget. So it's just being understanding and trying to guide the client. You know, that's one of the challenges I have. I had a guy that I was he was mentally challenged, and that was kind of hard to deal with. He was schizophrenic, and I never dealt with a schizophrenic person ever in my life, you know. So I had to learn how to pivot and give him that reassurance always, because with a schizophrenic person, they're overthinking at all times. So you tell them something, that second they're overthinking. So I gotta keep giving him that reassurance, you know. He was a great guy, you know, actually a great client. Me and him still talk to this day. But that was one of my major challenges that I faced.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
It was
see that.
stressing me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. So we have a seminar clip that I want to show y'all, and watch this.
Watch how I'm shining.
Mm-hmm.
The presentation was not forced.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was not forced. You know, it was not like, oh, I'm just gonna try to do it. You know, it was well put together, was well organized, and the execution was excellent. You know what I mean? So, and then, like I said, the atmosphere is like, we're a family.
All right, so now that y'all have seen that clip, my question to you is, how do you prepare for to speak in front of crowds, or even just, you know, where do you find the confidence and the
So I practice everything 100 times before I have to engage into a seminar as such. So let's say I have the seminar the next day. I'm practicing at night. See, people don't see that. They think that I just came in there and I just did my thing. You know, no, I literally would do that 100 times. 100 times. They say practice make perfect. Yeah. And by the time I'm at the seminar, I'm flowing. I'm not even thinking about how the client is looking at me or the consumer looking at me. I'm just showing the value. I'm doing exactly what I did that night before, you know, night prior. So, I mean, that's how I prepare for it. And I tell people mind create reality. So, if you thinking like you're confident, I promise you're going to be confident. Yeah. Every time.
Yeah. And you know,
come on,
you know with me.
Yes, Lord.
We working on it.
Nah, we working on it. You getting better.
Yeah.
You getting better.
That's one of my toughest things is speaking, and just public speaking, or even just speaking.
You're doing a wonderful job right now.
I got to work on that.
And it takes practice. Yeah. It takes practice, time. The more you do it, the more you gain that confidence. You know what I mean? The first time I spoke in front of a crowd, I was so nervous, like shaking. You know what I mean? But once you pass that adversity, you can do it in your sleep.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, I think anybody who know me personally and close, I always say like I have the Monet language. Like it just comes out. I don't know what goes on, but I start stuttering. I don't know. When I get nervous, and when I get in front of a lot of people, because I'm not used to being, you know, in front of a large crowd. So the Monet language comes out, and it's all mine. Everything is mine. Everything is mental. I don't think people understand how powerful the mind. God didn't want us to master the mind. He would have made us robots. Think about it. He would have had us automated. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he didn't do that for us. He gave us that willpower. So, you know, structuring that mind where you at a capacity where you moving at a state that you want to move is super key. Yes, Lord. Yeah, you got to help me with that.
I got you. I got you. Black out in the building.
All right. So, with that being said, how do you prepare your buyers for the transaction?
I have a personal touch with my clients. So I look at everything from the consumer lens. Like before I got my license, I didn't know anything about real estate. Like anything. I didn't know what a lease. I didn't know the difference between a lease and a mortgage. I thought rent and a lease was two different things. So I take that approach. I look at it from a consumer eye. You know, so I break it down step by step for them. Yeah. Like we spoke earlier, I be their realtor and I be their therapist. You know, and I got them throughout the transaction. So give them their reinsurance, their reoccurring information. That way they're comfortable with doing the transaction. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure your clients appreciate it.
They love me. Yeah. They love me.
It just took me back to one of your closings that I came to you with, and I was recording your clients, and they were just going on and on about how they love Jared.
They love me.
Jared was good, but I think you just have that personality, like.
It's energy. It's energy. Like people can see when you're not confident. Like it's an aura, you know. So the client seeing that I'm confident, I'm guiding them through the whole transaction. Every time they have a question, I have an answer. I'm not one of those agents that's like, oh, I don't know, let's figure it out together, you know. I'm gonna give them the solution, and I tell people we're always solution based.
Yeah.
Every time, solution based.
All right. That's key.
Yes, Lord.
All right, so we are closing this up. I have one last question for you.
That's it. No, I'm messing with you.
All right, so how is working with a team versus individuals, or being an individual?
Working with a team, you always have that accountability partner, because I promise you, if I was a single agent that's not working with a team, I would be moving like Jared, you know what I mean, versus moving like Blackout.
Yeah.
You know, you have that accountability from each partners. Not only that, you can move from a 10-person standpoint versus one with a client. So I give you an example. Let's say I'm sick and I have a client that I have an appointment with. I can call you, say, hey, Monet, I need you to go service my clients. I'm sick. I got, I don't want to speak nothing to existence, but yeah, I'm sick. Go do it, and we always getting things done. It's not the ship will never stop, is what I'm saying. The ship is going to keep moving. The client is going to keep being serviced because he or she has a team on their side.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
So, and I'm gonna second that too, because with me, joining, since I've joined Black Owl, that I feel like I've been the most productive that I have. And
you have.
Yeah. So before I wasn't.
Right.
I was an individual, but
you moving like Monet.
I was moving like Monet.
Right.
And now that I feel like I have a team, I have people that I can count on.
Right.
I have, people that's gonna hold me accountable. That's gonna be like, Monet, what you doing?
We be on her butt too. I hope y'all know.
To the point where you almost gotta like. For me anyway, you almost have to be like, all right, I am on a team.
Right.
And I do have people that are looking at me to be like, what you doing?
Right,
like,
right. You moving like Black Owl now.
Yeah.
And for any team, they're gonna set their standards, and with you being a team member, it's like, okay, I gotta be there. I gotta do what they're saying. I gotta be towards that standard, and like I said, it's accountability.
Yeah, because I can call you.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I've
easy.
called you plenty of times.
Easy.
Jared, how you?
We done had long conversations.
I get Alexa, Taniqua, everybody. Adrian. Adrian is always gonna answer his phone.
Right.
He gonna give you the whole spiel, but it's gonna be a 30-minute call.
Right.
But he go. The knowledge is there.
We all get it from bro.
So yeah.
We all get it from Adrian.
Yeah.
And it's important to have. I'm gonna shout out my bro right now, Adrian Smith. It's important to have a great rainmaker, a great leader as well. Because if your leader is lazy, then you're going to be lazy.
Yeah.
So if you're choosing the team, study the team before you just agree to be a part of the team, You always want a great leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Lord.
All right. Well, that concludes that.
Okay.
So, how you feeling?
I feel good.
All right.
I hope I done gave the consumers a lot of information. Yeah. Now, y'all stay tuned to the next episode. Y'all got any questions? Comment on below under the YouTube, and we'll be back.
All right. Black Out in the building.